The world of movies is changing rapidly. That's why it's possible to miss a lot. But don't worry. In this XXL video, we've collected the highlights of the whole month just for you. Enjoy! Finally, we have some news about Fast and Furious 11. Vin Diesel has announced the official title and release date for the grand finale of the saga. It's now called Fast Forever. However, things aren't progressing that quickly with the project. For a long time, it was unclear if the sequel would even happen. A reduced budget, a missing script, issues with the cast. The list of challenges is long. And Vin Diesel had to say this on Instagram. No one said the road would be easy, but it's ours, and a legacy lasts forever. We've definitely been waiting for quite some time, and whether we like it or not, we'll have to wait even longer. The theatrical release of Fast Forever won't be until March 17th, 2028. Sure, the series is controversial, mainly because of the direction it's taken since its early days. And yet, there are probably a lot of viewers who are looking forward to the finale. What's your favorite Fast and Furious movie, and why? Are you more into street racing or action blockbusters? Let us know in the comments below. Monsterverse fans, listen up. New details about Godzilla Kong Supernova have emerged. These come from a test screening more than a year before the movie's theatrical release. It's been confirmed that Space Godzilla is indeed the antagonist of the film. This is an exceptionally powerful monster with telekinetic abilities and distinctive crystals on its body. Unfortunately, Mothra and Rodan are currently absent from Supernova. Instead, there will be the reunion with Zuko and Shimo. The mood of the film is said to be similar to that of the New Empire. Overall, the initial reactions seem to be mostly positive. Now, of course, these reports from the test screening should be taken with a grain of salt. Much could still change before the release. We're eagerly awaiting the theatrical debut of Supernova on March 26, 2027. Exciting new rumors about Spider-Man Brand New Day. According to insider Daniel Rickman, the Enforcers are likely to appear in the movie. There's at least some concept art of the villainous group, and specific names have also been mentioned. The team traditionally consists of Ox, Montana, and Fancy Dan. These hitmen stir up the New York underworld in the comics on behalf of the big man, Frederick Foswell. Also, there's a reunion in the new Spider-Man movie. Rosario Dawson is set to be returning as Claire Temple. After The Punisher, she'll be the next character from Netflix's Daredevil to make it into the MCU. It shouldn't be too long before we finally get the first trailer for Brand New Day. And with the KinoCheck app, you definitely won't miss it. You'll be among the first to see Spidey back in action. What's your hype level? Are you excited for the Enforcers to make their appearance? Or would you much rather see other characters? Let us know what you think in the comments. Finally, the release date for The Mummy 4 starring Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz is official. The new adventure will hit theaters on May 19th, 2028. Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett, known for Scream 5 and Scream 6 in the movie Abigail, will direct. The screenplay is written by David Cogshall, known for Orphan First Kill. Details about the plot are still being kept under wraps. However, rumors have already been circulating that Dwayne Johnson will also return as the Scorpion King. The character was introduced in Part 2 in 2001 and has since appeared in numerous spin-offs. We're eagerly awaiting to see if there will be any other reunions with the original cast. But who do you think should definitely return for The Mummy 4? Let us know in the comments. Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock Holmes. The third installment in the film series seems to be just around the corner. Insider Daniel Rickman reports that work on the project is currently back underway. However, there will be quite a few changes to the setting. This was revealed by producer Susan Downey, the wife of the lead actor. According to her, they plan to move the story from London to America. But instead of Guy Ritchie, Dexter Fletcher will be in the director's chair this time, known for the biopic Rocket Man. The first two movies established an action-packed version of the classic detective, and each grossed over $500 million worldwide. We've now been waiting a full 15 years for Sherlock Holmes 3 and the return of Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law as Dr. Watson. However, rumors of a possible sequel have been circulating since 2011, so we should take the new reports with a grain of salt. But hey, it's still fun to dream a little, right? Is Marvel planning another Avengers movie? For some time now, there have been strong indications that Avengers Secret Wars will be split into 2 movies. One will be released in December 2027 as already announced, but Marvel has also scheduled a currently untitled release for December 2028, which would be a fitting time for a second part. Well-connected Hollywood insider Daniel Rickman had also previously reported on such considerations. And according to him, Marvel wants to wait and see how Doomsday performs before officially announcing a 2-part release for Secret Wars. But now there's been strong opposition from another insider. Jeff Snyder stated that there are currently no serious plans for Avengers 7, although Part 6 will likely have a longer running time. There are several reasons to rule out plans for 2 feature films. A sudden decision to split the story into 2 parts would require major revisions to the plot. This would involve additional marketing campaigns and promotional tours, with a cast whose schedules are already packed years in advance. Another decisive factor? The stars' wages. Marvel is said to have invested over $100 million for Robert Downey Jr.'s return, and that's not including profit sharing. Subsequent negotiations would entail enormous additional costs. Besides, everything points to Marvel wanting to kick off its new MCU phase in 2028. Delaying the finale of the multiverse saga to the end of the year doesn't make much sense. So, while a 7th Avengers film will eventually happen, a release in December 2028 seems quite unlikely. Exciting updates on Top Gun 3 and Pirates of the Caribbean 6. Producer Jerry Bruckheimer recently commented on the current status of these mega projects in an interview. For the Pirate Saga, there were 2 persistent rumors: the appearance of Jack Sparrow's son and Margot Robbie's involvement. Bruckheimer hinted that only one of these 2 rumors was headed in the right direction. When asked, he confirmed that there had been concrete talks with Margot Robbie. According to the producer, it's a horse race as to which film will hit theaters first, Pirates of the Caribbean 6 or Top Gun 3. However, work on the aviation film is further along. As with the second installment, the screenplay is written by Christopher McQuarrie and is reportedly nearing completion, so a return of Tom Cruise is as good as certain. New leaks about the next Jurassic World movie. According to the website World of Real, these concern the title of the upcoming blockbuster sequel. Apparently, it'll be called Jurassic World Liberation. This sounds very much as if the dinosaurs might be released back onto the mainland. The previous installment, Rebirth, was mostly set on an island and grossed over $800 million at the box office. That said, there haven't been any official announcements about the sequel yet. But rumor has it that they're planning to keep on working with director Gareth Edwards and the cast, which includes Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, and Mahershala Ali. A possible release date is currently being considered for June 9th, 2028. We're still waiting for a statement from Universal Pictures. However, given the success of the previous film, it would be odd if the studio were to change the formula for success. What do you think? Should they continue the same approach as in the last film? Or should they try something new? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Huge news from the Spider-Verse. It's official. Spider-Gwen and Spider-Punk are getting their own solo movies. Sony Pictures Animation has confirmed that work on the spin-offs is underway. Daniel Kaluuya will not only reprise his role as the voice of Spider-Punk, he's also co-writing the screenplay. As for Gwen, we fully expect Haley Steinfeld to return. However, the movies won't be released until after the grand finale, Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is currently slated for June 2027. But don't worry, there's something to enjoy in the meantime. The Spider-Noir live-action series starring Nicolas Cage will arrive on Amazon Prime on May 27th. Which spin-off would you like to see? Let us know in the comments. New details on the hunt for Gollum. An insider has now shared more information about the plot of the next The Lord of the Rings film. The story takes place between Bilbo's birthday and the first meeting of the Fellowship in Rivendell. Gollum leaves his cave to search for the ring. Meanwhile, Gandalf sends Aragorn to find him. There will also be flashbacks showing Smeagol before he was corrupted by the ring. For the cast, the filmmakers are bringing back Ian McKellen as Gandalf and Elijah Wood as Frodo. Andy Serkis will direct, and of course, play Gollum again. Whether Viggo Mortensen will return as Aragorn is still uncertain. In any case, we do expect to see some CGI rejuvenation. After all, it's been 25 years since the original. Filming will begin in July 2026 in New Zealand, with the theatrical release planned for December 17th, 2027. What do you think? Are you still in the mood for Middle-earth? The next big name for the God of War series. Ed Skrein will take on the role of Baldur. The actor has plenty of experience in demanding action roles, and that will be surely needed for God of War. Baldur is Odin's youngest son and is considered an absolute force of nature. He attacks his opponents with overwhelming physical strength and seems unstoppable. And the rest of the cast is impressive too. Sons of Anarchy star Ryan Hurst will play Kratos, while newcomer Calum Vinson will portray his son. Also confirmed are Teresa Palmer as Sif, Max Parker as Heimdall, Mandy Patinkin as Odin, and Oliver Dari Olafsson as the God of Thunder, Thor. Although there's no official release date for Season 1 yet, Amazon seems to be highly invested in this project. A second season of God of War has already been confirmed. The bad news for fans of K-pop Demon Hunters. You're going to need a lot of patience for Part 2. Sony Pictures Animation has now revealed that the start of production has been delayed, partly due to the current Oscar preparations. The hit movie has been nominated twice, for Best Animated Feature and Best Original Song. Now, previously, the release year for the sequel had been said to be 2029, and many fans had already found that hard to accept. But it gets even worse. In an interview, studio president Christine Belson was asked whether they would make it by 2029. She responded with a telling gesture. It seems that K-pop Demon Hunters 2 won't see the light of day until 2030 at the earliest. But there is a glimmer of hope. Jinu's story might not be over just yet. She at least mentioned his story as an example of something that could be explored further. What are your thoughts? Can you wait that long for Part 2? Or will your interest in the franchise be long gone by then? Sony's Spider-Man universe is getting a reboot. After the flops of Morbius, Madam Web, and Kraven the Hunter, those responsible apparently see no point in continuing the established universe. Instead, they're now planning a fresh start with new people. This was confirmed by Sony Pictures CEO Tom Rothman on the Town podcast. He spoke of a comeback in the form of a reboot with fresh faces. However, Rothman didn't reveal any further details. So this leaves some questions unanswered. For example, which characters from the Spider-Man comics will get their own movies next? And will there be new attempts with the characters that have flopped so far, but with different actors? How do you feel about this? Will you give Sony's new Spider-Man movies a chance? Or should the studio leave it to the MCU? After all, the Spider-Man movies with the title character have found a new home there for many years now, and with great success. The legendary role-playing game Baldur's Gate is being turned into a series. HBO has tapped Craig Mazin, the creative mind behind hits like Chernobyl and The Last of Us, as showrunner. Story-wise, the series is expected to pick up right where Baldur's Gate 3 left off. But aspects of older games from the Dungeons & Dragons universe will also be included. New characters will be introduced, but familiar characters from the game will also make an appearance. Fans can hope that popular companions like Shadowheart and Asterion will also be part of the series' plot. There's no information yet about the cast. Neither lead nor supporting roles have been cast so far, which is understandable, as the project is still in the early stages of development. But with HBO and Craig Mazin at the helm, we're confident that this could turn out to be really good. The Eragon Fantasy series is making a comeback, this time as a series on Disney+. The good news for all the book fans? Author Christopher Paolini is involved. At the helm of the series are showrunners Todd Helbing and Todd Harthan. Their previous successes include DC series such as Superman and Lois and The Flash, as well as comedy series like Psych. The epic Eragon saga revolves around the farm boy of the same name, who one day finds a dragon egg and becomes a dragon rider. The first novel was already adapted for a film in 2006, but it's widely considered a huge disappointment by fans. So we're curious to see if the series adaptation on Disney Plus will do a better job. However, the release will certainly take some time. At the moment, for example, we don't know anything about the cast. We'll of course keep an eye on the production for you. The Eragon Fantasy series is making a comeback, this time as a series on Disney+. The good news for all the book fans? Author Christopher Paolini is involved. At the helm of the series are showrunners Todd Helbing and Todd Harthan. Their previous successes include DC series such as Superman and Lois and The Flash, as well as comedy series like Psych. The epic Eragon saga revolves around the farm boy of the same name, who one day finds a dragon egg and becomes a dragon rider. The The first novel was already adapted for a film in 2006, but it's widely considered a huge disappointment by fans. So we're curious to see if the series adaptation on Disney Plus will do a better job. However, the release will certainly take some time. At the moment, for example, we don't know anything about the cast. We'll of course keep an eye on the production for you. Naruto as a live-action film. Now the project is actually becoming a reality. According to new reports, filming is slated to begin in late 2026. The movie will be directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, who's already made a name for himself with Marvel's Shang-Chi and is currently working on Spider-Man Brand New Day. Naruto creator Masashi Kishimoto is also officially involved in the development. Now, for a long time, a film adaptation was considered difficult to pull off. The main reason? Kishimoto was skeptical about the quality of Hollywood adaptations. However, his stance has since changed, likely encouraged by the success of adaptations like One Piece for Netflix. Story-wise, the movie follows the familiar journey of young Naruto. As the host of the nine-tailed fox spirit, he grows up as an outsider and fights for recognition. His ultimate goal remains unchanged. He wants to become Hokage, the strongest ninja and leader of his village. At this point, nothing is known about the cast yet, but who can you imagine playing the popular roles? We're curious to hear about your ideas. A new Venom movie, but it's going to be completely different than expected. This time, the dark anti-hero will appear in an animated film. Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein, the creators of Final Destination Bloodlines, will direct. This combination could mean that the next Venom movie will be even more brutal than what we've seen so far. The project is still in the early stages of development, and the cast and release date are not yet known. But at least we do know that Tom Hardy will be back. It's still unclear, however, whether he will be involved only as a producer or whether he will return as the lead actor. What do you think? Are you instantly put off by the idea of an animated movie, or could it make for a nice change from the previous films? That's it for the news highlights this month. Which topic got you most excited in February? Share your thoughts in the comments. And please hit the thumbs up button if you liked our monthly highlights. See you next time, your KinoCheck team.